So confession, I'm not someone that really follows trends. And I don't really like real life TV. But over the weekend, as I was making dinner for myself, I wanted to be entertained on the background. And I saw this pop up on Netflix, Building the Brand. I was like, okay, that's nice. It's entertaining to listen to on the background while making food. But it was so good that I stayed watching it and watching it. I think I watched like 4 episodes before going to bed. And there was a moment, because I watched it the next day too, where season 4 got to perform Believer from Imagine Dragons. And they got this feedback from their coach. And he said, it's so important for you to really feel the emotions when you sing it. So go back into a time in your life where you felt pain and then bring it out in your performance. And the moment they performed, I really got shivers. I got goosebumps because his advice was so good. It was so true. It's like by living through those emotions, you can really embody the words and people can feel it then, they're not just words. And trust me, I know the song, I've heard it before, but I felt it when I watched the guys of season 4 perform it. And I was thinking about it today, because isn't that what pain does? In the lyrics, there's a part where it says, pain, you make me a believer, believer. Pain, you break me up, you break me down, believer. Something like that. Anyway, you build me up, you break me down, you build me up, believer. Something like that it says. And isn't that what pain does? A lot of times we focus on the things that go wrong in life. We don't like pain. It's discomfortable, it's something we want to fix and get rid of. But I had different situations happening the past days, the past week, where every time I was just astonished by myself of, oh my God, woman, who you have become, I'm so proud of you. Because I could so see how my natural response now is like a 180 difference of who I used to show up as. And I'm not trying anymore. It's not like this new skill that I'm trying to learn. It's just who I am now. And it's because of pain. It's because of pain that I was shaped. I was being built. The blood through my veins is transformed. And this episode is really a love declaration for pain, because how often do we dismiss pain as something as bad when there are so many blessings behind it? And I don't think the function of pain is something to see as a trauma or something that we continuously see as something bad and label as something bad. I can handle more because of the fact that pain literally made me grow as a person. It helped me to understand, okay, don't respond this way, and you don't need to analyze that anymore. And hey, it's okay for people not to like you. You don't need to, be a people pleaser. All of those things I learned through pain. I never learned that through happiness and, amazingness. In everyday life, when things happen that we don't like, pain has always been the one thing that helped me to speak up, that helped me to process things, that helped me to become wiser, that helped me to have clear boundaries. I was listening to some podcasts earlier today as I was cleaning the fridge. And I was like, well, this is not a task that I'm looking forward to, but I really want to clean it because the groceries were about to come. And I wanted to have it in a clean fridge. So I was like, okay, let's listen to a podcast. And there was this guy who was being interviewed by Lewis House. And they were talking about, they didn't use the word pain, but it was definitely about, adversity in life and when life hits you. And he was talking about how he was raised poor. And how that actually made him really be keen on making money. And he, one moment, decided like, hey, I'm not going to focus on just making money. I'm going to focus on how can I make money the fastest way, because it doesn't have to take time. And because he focused on the fastest way, that's how he completely changed his entire life trajectory and started to attract more and more money. You know how many people have setbacks, even Lewis House, when it comes to his sport career. He was an athlete and then he couldn't play anymore, and that pain crushed him, but it made him who he is right now. And he's blessing us all with the wisdom that he shares in his podcast, not just through him, but also through the people he interviews. If you start seeing life in a way where life is there for you, not against you, you start to appreciate that good thing, bad thing, you don't know. But the way you look at it changes everything, which is why when that song was being played in building the band, and all of them that were performing it, season 4 had their trials and had their painful moments. They felt it so deeply. I could feel it, and that united us. But it also reminded me of, this is not something to be afraid of. This is not something to push away or try and fix all the time. It is something to completely embrace. To embrace the discomfort of bad news, of bad situations, of tough luck. And that in itself is the magic. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode.